Good evening and welcome to the Star Chamber live podcast. And it is a great Wednesday evening here in Lexington, Kentucky, where I'm broadcasting from. And joining me in just a few minutes is the vivacious, the loquacious, and the audacious Holly Phillippe. And looking forward to having a great show tonight with not one but two fantastic guests who I'm really, really excited to have. And the timing just happened to work out perfectly. And you'll know more about that in just a moment because we're going to give you some Imaginarium updates. Yeah, we've been very, very busy. But the chat room is open tonight. Looks like a lot of folks are coming in already. So we got a lot of good early guests tonight. We've got the amazing Carol Pre-Flattish. We've got Vamp Chat with Dan and Eva, a great podcast. It's also on Podbean. And if you have not checked it out yet, please, you need to. And they were just at the Louisville Horror Con this past weekend. It looked like a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff going on there. And we've also got DeJuan Hearn, D.L. Hearn in there, and we've got also Amy McCorkle, and got a mic on right now. And I'm going to check this out. I got a mic coming through right now. I got to make sure. See, we've got a mic coming through, I think, right now, and on our guest, one of our guests here that's on deck. And let's see here. I'm just waiting for Holly here in just a second. And we are going to go ahead and give you the Imaginarium updates. And these are, of course, today. We do have some new guests to announce to you very shortly, and that is for spotlighted guests and panelists. But tonight, one of the big things that we've been focused on is our screenplay finalists. And those were announced today. Let's see here. Hold on just a moment here. It's got a mic coming through here just right now. Trying to get a control of it. I got a mic coming through right now. But I'm just waiting for Holly to log in here. I was hoping she would make it for the early part of this evening. But we've got the long format screenplay finalists. Announced earlier today, we have Blood Ties by Steve Ferris. We had Boondocks from B.D. Prince. We had Brothers from Thomas More. Christmas Cards from Joseph Anthony Francis. Exodus from Mick Williams. Getting Back from Haven Garver. Icefire from A.M. Mason and Leslie Ann Moore. We have Lifeboat from Mason Mendoza and Bill Baber. My Wooden Wings from Rachel Multerer. We had Panopticon from Sophia Peasley. We had Send Me an Angel from Amy Lee McCorkle and Melissa Goodman. Single at Christmas from Joseph Anthony Francis. The Brua Files from Rose Garcia. The One-Eyed Monkey from Adam Pellis. We have The Rapture at Silver Coin from Devin Hylton. The Recluse from Eric Duffy. The Witch's Descendant from Carol Pre-Flattish. And Zendaya from Curtis Harrison. And that is your long format screenplay finalists. And of course, we had the largest number of ever entries this year, so this is definitely a great honor to be a finalist. And these finalists will be juried now for awards determination. That'll be coming up live at the awards banquet on Saturday, July the 19th at Imaginarium. So yes, congratulations to all of our long format screenplay finalists. And of course, that's not it. We also have your short format screenplay finalists as well to share with you tonight. And we've got Ericon from Eric Close. We have Crying Wolf from Michael Maltzby. We have Extraction from James Sabata. We have Grow Old With Me from Elizabeth Donald. Haven from Craig Urquhart. We have Left Behind from Christopher Cook. We have Luna Noir City of the Damned from Herschel Zond. We have Mirror Eyes from Devin Hylton. Relentless from Andrew P. Mayo. Samuel Dreaming by Dave Creek. Scavenger from Lisanne Southgate. The Age of the Empath by Steve Brown. The Haze by DeJuan L. Hearn. The Idiosyncratic Queen by Lynn Tincher. And Zombie Moon, written by DeJuan L. Hearn and Jameson D. Hearn. Sorry, I get that right. We've got 2 authors on that one. Yes, the screenplay finalists in the short format category. So those were all announced just shortly before the show, and we'll definitely be posting a lot about this. We've already gotten a lot of posts out. Congratulations again to everyone that made our screenplay finals. And so, yes, we're definitely that's been the thing. We had more entries overall than we have ever had before, and then we also had, in addition to that, we also had um, more late period entries than we've ever had before. So that's why it took until tonight to get everything determined, and we will be also posting the rest of the official selections tomorrow in the film festival. But wait, there's more. We are going to go ahead and share with you tonight live here on the show. I'm going to pull it up. I got to make sure this is precise because we're going to share with you. Go ahead and share with you some additional additions to the Imaginarium 2025 Independent Film Festival. So, selected as official selections. I do want to say something this year. We did it in a small way last year, but on Sunday we had a few screenings of projects that weren't official selections, but were from regional filmmakers. In order to give, we want to give our support and encourage participation in the film festival and support filmmakers that are up and coming. So we will be having another round of announcements for our Sunday showcase of independent filmmakers, and that is going to be expanded this year. So you can look forward to a number of other projects that are going to be included. Now, these did not make our official selections in terms of jurying for awards determination, but they're definitely filmmakers that we want to support, and they will be showcased in our Sunday Indie Showcase. And so that will be coming. So there are some there, and we are going to so we're going to go ahead and share with you right now a few that were named as official selections. These will be posted on our site tomorrow. And so one is A Butterfly Has Been Released. This is a documentary, and this is from 2 directors, Jason Zimmer and Barry Koch. And then we also have, in the documentary category, we have Best in Class, and this is from director David W. King. In the area of short films, we have one new addition. We have In the Middle, and this is from Megan Benzing, and that is going to be announced as an official selection tomorrow. And then we have 2 web series editions, and these are both by this same director. So this is going to be fun, and I think that this director is listening to us tonight on the show. We have Letters To, and this is a pilot episode for an anthology web series, and this is Amy Lee McCorkle. And we also have When Doves Cry from Amy Lee McCorkle, both of which are being added to the official selections of the web series category. And so, congratulations. If you are listening, you're getting a little bit of a scoop tonight. Those will be announced and posted tomorrow as far as official selections are concerned. But if you weren't named as an official selection by Friday with the official notification date, there are a number of projects that are going to be announced for our Sunday Indie Showcase for some indie filmmakers that we definitely want to support, encourage, and have showcased at Imaginarium 2025. So there's some more good ones that are coming for sure, but this will round out our official selections for awards determination. And it looks like Holly has just joined us in time. Hey, Holly.
I'm here.
There you are.
You hear me?
There you are.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes. 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 Hello.
Hello.
You there? Your connection is a little coming in and out a little bit, Holly.
It is. Well, I'll
Are
go
you
out
hearing
and
me
come
okay?
back. I hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah, give me a reconnection there, and then we'll go ahead and give you these folks that brought you tonight's show. which tonight are Sandy Lender, the genre blender, and of course Ren Garcia with the League of Elders series. But I'm hoping Holly can come aboard. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and recognize the sponsors for tonight's show, and then when Holly gets back, she can give you some quick updates before we bring on tonight's guests. So here is a little bit from Sandy Lender, the genre blender herself. And let me tell you, this book, it's in this spot, is fantastic. Highly recommend it. Pick up a copy. Tell everyone you heard about it on the Star Chambers show.
Are you a creative person working a 9-to-5 job to survive? Let's look at how to keep your energy and joy alive with the new motivational business book, Capture Your Dream, from author Sandy Lender. In Capture Your Dream, Sandy offers stories, lessons, inspiration, SWOT analysis, goal stacking strategies, and more to help you map your plan to achieve a dream job or side hustle. As a creative herself, Sandy knows it takes compromise and commitment to keep the day job to survive while chasing the dream to thrive. Assess your dragon score. Learn more about Capture Your Dream at AuthorSandyLender.com.
And thank you, Sandy Lender, as always. And yes, that is a great book. Now, here's a little bit from the man himself, Ren Garcia, League of Elders series.
The League of Elder dares to be unusual. It's easy to be swept away in this bold and uninhibited landscape where fantastic heroes become old friends and sinister villains inhabit every dark corner. Dare to explore things best left alone. Each book is your lantern, lighting the path to a world never before seen. So what do you say? Are you weird enough for us?
Yes, Ren. And after a week like you've had in the past week, absolutely, definitely weird enough for you. And looks like There's Holly. She's back. Hear you loud and
It's
clear.
still cutting in and out. It's cutting in and out a little bit on my end. I don't know if it's me or if it's our connection. I don't know. I think it's just me.
Okay, because I can hear you loud and clear on my end, Holly.
Okay.
So
Well,
real
it's
quickly,
me then.
you got a couple minutes. I've already gone through sharing all the screenplay finalists that got announced today, and I also announced the rest of the official selections, which are going to be formally posted and announced tomorrow.
Fantastic.
But we got a couple minutes before we bring our guests on. So, is there anything you need to update folks on, or any news, any Holly
I'm
news?
working on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm working on individual schedules. So if you don't have yours yet, I didn't forget you. I'm just working on them. I have, almost 200. So it takes a little bit. So give me some time. I've also got a bunch of crazy stuff. I had to go to a doctor appointment and all that today too. So, and tomorrow, I don't know if Steven said anything, but we're taking the kids on a special little adventure. So that's going to be a big surprise. And after we do, look for a text, Mr. Moon, out there in the audience. We're going to be texting you tomorrow.
Yes. Well, I'll keep it a surprise then. Yeah, because I know what you're up to. Yeah, but I know. Yes, it sounds cryptic, but I know that Dewan will love it. Moon will love this. So yeah, we'll keep that quiet for right now. But yeah, Holly's been working away at that. It's a lot of stuff to go through as far as surveys, and we even have more guests to be announced. They're rolling in still. So
Yes, we have some new guests coming in.
Yeah, we do. It's a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, I will go ahead and I will announce both guests, and then I will turn their mics on and bring them aboard because, yeah, we have two guests tonight. So I want to give them both thorough introductions. So one of our guests tonight is a filmmaker, screenwriter, comic book creator, and mental health therapist. He is an award winner, multiple award winner, who has also published several graphic novels from companies as diverse as Marcosi Enterprises and Arcana Studio. And some of his property has been optioned for feature film development from production companies such as Platinum Studios, who are affiliated with the Hollywood movies Men in Black and Cowboys and Aliens. And so by now, I think you know who I'm speaking of, the man behind The Repairman, which won numerous awards internationally and screened on multiple continents. The one, the only, the man himself, Devin Hylton. And I am thrilled to have Devin come aboard tonight. But that's not all. Joining him tonight is a filmmaker, sound designer, composer, and video editor based out of Louisville, Kentucky. His work ranges from documentaries, indie short films, feature films, and commercial work. He completed a doctorate degree in music composition from Indiana University, has been helping other filmmakers craft their stories through sound for 15 years. And his sound work has been featured on Lifetime, Hulu, Amazon, Peacock, and other major networks. And by now, you know who I'm also talking about. And I'm speaking of the one, the only Tim Miller. And Tim, you are live.
Hello.
We lost Devin.
Can you guys?
I turned his mic on and he disappeared.
Can you guys hear
just
me?
log back in. Yes, we hear you.
Awesome.
And we just need to get Devin to log back in. I unmuted him and he disappeared. That was great.
He's like, peace out, man. I'm gone. Peace out.
That's typical Devin, actually.
We've got you. So that's the one benefit of two guests in one show is that we got at least one of you. But I think I'm hoping Devin will come back in here in a second. But Tim, how you been doing? And congratulations on, like I said, the projects and the fact that you've got an official a great project coming that's going to premiere at Imaginarium, which
that's right. Yeah, and we just want to first of all thank you guys for allowing us that opportunity. Imaginarium has treated both Devin and I well, very much over the years. You know, like you mentioned, Repairman, which was Devin and I's kind of first big project together. And it took a few years, and we won Best Sci-Fi Feature there a couple years ago, I guess it was, and then it ran through the circuit, did really well in the circuit. But I mean, I'll wait for Devin to come back on before we talk about the new project. But overall, the film industry is, as we all know, is a little tumultuous at the moment. So it's a little up and down. But as an independent artist, the one thing that we all share is passion, and we never give up on our dreams. And our dreams are to tell amazing stories and write amazing stories and share that with the world. So there's nothing in the world that can stop us from doing that. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So we just just kind of keep pushing forward, and right now I've been kind of moving into the directing world a little bit, along with the Rapture Silver Coin, which we're going to talk about soon, and then also I'm working on a couple of documentaries over the past couple of years. I did. Like I said, where I am based in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm a huge golf fan, and I used to work at Valhalla, which hosted the PGA Championship last year, and I directed a documentary for the grounds crew there last year, so that was pretty cool. So documentary filmmaking is kind of its own beast, and it looks like Devin's back in there now.
He is back. I think he just logged in. I see him. He's being quiet right now. I got your mic on, Devin.
All right. How is everybody? Yeah.
There he is.
Sorry about
that. Hey, that's the glory. Go ahead.
It wouldn't be technology and me if we didn't have a divorce right before I was getting on here. So.
Well, I'll tell you that it's the joy of life.
Yeah, just so you know, Devin. Yeah, when you get the grand introduction, you can stay on with us. You don't have to log off.
I thought, my God, see if I was in a club in L.A. or New York City, that would be lauded and stuff. But I guess not. No, sorry about that, guys.
That was awesome. Holly, I think in 466 episodes, the first time that we've given a full introduction and then had the guests log off.
Peace out.
Yeah, it's kind of a GG. It's kind of a GG Allen type of deal too. If anybody old school punk rock.
That's all right, because I love punk rock. So.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So Tim was catching us up on some things, and he said he's been dipping his toes into directing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So just to kind of continue is just been doing some documentary work, and then this project that we're going to talk about tonight is also kind of my first pretty epic directing job. And so it's a side. I normally work in the audio side of things in storytelling. As a composer, I've dealt with audio and music, most of my life, and I do a lot of on-set mixing, sound mixing, post as well with sound effects editing and Foley and things like that, and have done a lot of in the wonderful introduction that you gave me earlier. I've done a lot of stuff for Lifetime, which is we've had a lot of movies on that I've done some work on that are, we had a BET Christmas movie last year.
Cool.
Yeah, and so they're floating around there. They're kind of as I call it. It's kind of like my parents' generation. I'm 43, so my parents' generation loves those type of just movies. And so
for the record, I have never written a Lifetime movie. I just want to just ensure. So,
yeah,
Stephen loves Hallmark, so yeah,
yeah,
that makes
yeah.
Stephen's heart
Do
Yeah,
a
those
that's
two.
little
a
Yeah,
happy.
pleasure. It is,
Yeah, yeah,
and one of our attending authors, Virginia Smith, one of her books was just on the Lifetime Channel as a
yeah.
feature film. So
yeah.
yeah, we there's a lot of love from us toward Lifetime Channel. It's a great
absolutely.
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's a thing that's been around for a long time. You mentioned Lifetime, and generally the majority of people know what you're going to talk about. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
so it is a my wife likes to say, because actually Disney owns Lifetime, so she's like, "Oh, my husband works on Disney movies," so that's what.
hey,
That's
counts.
awesome.
Yep,
So
yep,
That's right.
yeah, I'll take it.
that's true.
That
And
is awesome. So
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Holly.
Oh, I was going to say, well, how do you like the directing side of it compared to everything else you've done? I mean, is it like something you're going to continue maybe to do,
Oh,
or
absolutely. Yeah. I've always been fascinated with that, with all the different aspects of kind of filmmaking and storytelling. But I've actually spent the majority of my time, just doing one job here or job there, which is usually audio related or something. I'm not much of a camera person, but yeah, I've always felt that I've had a strength of being able to see the end vision, from the beginning, from its inception, and kind of seeing this kind of global picture kind of take place, and also knowing my weaknesses as I'm not a camera person, but I can tell someone what I want and what I see in my head, and so directing allows me to do that, and the thing is like I said, most of my strengths fall in the audio side. So I guess this could be a little bit of a segue into our project, but I reached out to Devin way back
Can
in
I
what?
can I give a little bit of a preface on this?
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I'm talking.
go ahead?
You're fine. No, you're fine. Right after Repairman started getting accolades and so forth,
Uh-huh.
and it kind of, I didn't know what I wanted to do next. I toyed with the idea of a musical. I toyed with the idea of another graphic novel. I toyed with the idea of just a play. I toyed with the idea of just something just really, really outside the some kind of alternative art thing. And then Tim started talking about the audio side of things. Like, why don't we do something on the audio side of things? Because I was mentally and physically exhausted after the Repairman. It took its toll on me and Tim both, and it was just it was a lot. So, with everything with that, we wanted to do something that was extremely creative, very rich in character, but allowed us to kind of focus. Like, you don't have to worry about locations, you don't have to worry about all the litany of things that come with feature filmmaking, which is my first love. So that's kind of.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I had reached out to Devin actually during when the whole country was shut down back in 2021, I guess, or so, 2020, 2021. And I said, hey, I was like, we can't really kind of get people together in a room and go to these different locations and things like that. I was like, I've spent a lot of time while we don't have, we can't really work, as a filmmaker and that kind of stuff, listening, just being a listener and start to absorb content. What are other people doing, catching up on things. When a lot of people during, I guess, COVID kind of caught up on a lot of things that they couldn't do. And one of the things was just I was always a big podcast guy, and there was this medium that was called an audio drama, and I had was kind of put in touch with it by another local creator who had created a sci-fi kind of fun sci-fi drama as well, and talked to him about it, and he had already released a few episodes from the first season of his. And I was like, man, I just think this would be such a cool medium to play in. And I reached out to Devin, and I was like, man, I was like, we should do this. I was like, I know, because as Devin always sends me pictures every few often of all of his stories that he has just piled up that's never been in any kind of medium. They're just, they're just.
I can't stop, Stephen. Help me. I just keep going.
So he's always been that type of person who just is writing on a napkin or in his little notebook or whatever, and just piles and piles of stories. And I reached out to him way back then, and I was like, Devin, I was like, we really should do something in this medium. And I was like, I've been listening to a lot of it, and I was like, I'm an audio guy, like that's my strength. So really, I was like, we don't have to deal with locations and costumes and catering and all the other things that Devin was mentioning. I was like, all we have to do is hire voice actors, write them an amazing script, and then we can record them remotely. And then me as a sound designer, and I can direct them over Zoom and all this kind of stuff. And me as a sound designer and dialogue editor, put all that stuff together and create this kind of cinematic, immersive audio experience. And
the medium is so niche that it's open for the taking in terms of the fictional side.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, Devin's right. It's like it's this wide open market that is just now in the past. I would say probably 8 years or so. You're starting to see even A-list actors and big studios like Warner Brothers and things like that doing and producing their own audio drama. And if you think about it, it's for them as a big studio, it's like, well, yes, you have these big name actors, but it's all, there's no visuals, so there's nothing for us to look at. It's all audio. And so even some of these huge A-list actors are doing these audio dramas. And the best way that I can kind of describe what it is it's like listening to a movie. Mm-hmm. You're not seeing anything, but you're completely immersed in experiencing a feature length and even longer, sometimes a multi-episodic series that is purely audio.
It's akin to the old radio serials like Orson Welles used to do, The Shadow, The Phantom, all that, and that's a spiritual cousin of it. And it's yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And basically, after he told me this, I had been toying with an idea I had. We both love Westerns. I think it's I always say the last great genre of America. And I always loved the tropes in Westerns. So I wanted to subvert some of those, but still have a great story. And I worked on it, I would say, probably even before I turned in the scripts, I'd been working on it and doing drafts and redoing things. And I have to say, you never know how an audience is going to respond to a piece of material. I'm sure everybody listening has wrote something they thought was pretty good, and the audience just didn't respond. But they thought it was good. And
well, you can't please everybody.
No, you can't. And I'm sure that you write something that you didn't think nobody would like,
right.
And all of a sudden, people. But from my standpoint, just for me, my opinion doesn't matter. But I think it's one of the better things I have written, and Tim has done an absolute mind-blowing job of this. So when we world premiere it at Imaginarium, I can't wait, and I implore everybody to please, if you've got time in your schedule, please come and listen to these first 2 episodes. You'll really, really like what you hear.
I am very curious, because that's what I was going to talk to you about, is what do you say is the difference between, like, okay, an audiobook and Orson Welles. Does this follow like in the middle, or how would you explain the difference between like Orson Welles' radio show or like an audiobook?
Go ahead, Tim.
The way I would describe it is an audiobook is really just a narrator doing different voices, for the characters. There's typically no sound design, so you're not hearing the world that's being described. You're
Right.
you're you're just listening to someone read the prose that was written,
And
and
you got to
and
feel it in yourself.
yes,
Yes.
so it's really left up to the listener to, if you are a person who actually reads physical books,
Uh-huh.
that is one of the beautiful things about the different mediums that we play in, is that as writers, writing a novel is different than writing a screenplay. So in a novel, you have to explain and kind of build this world, but what you're doing is you're building that world through text, and so the reader is the one who has to make up those visuals. What is that, as I'm reading this, what does that look like to me? And so that's really an audiobook. And then like Orson Welles with the old radio shows, and like it is like before film really took off, is everyone, on a weeknight or even a weekend, whatever, would
Gather around.
gather around the radio and grab a cigar or a cigarette and their coffee, and just sit around and listen to these shows. And the difference between the audiobook and those radio shows, are there were a little bit of sound design. So you would hear the person going over and pouring their coffee in their cup, or hear that horse, kind of as they're riding it, like that kind of stuff. So there's a little more stuff for you to attach to whenever you're listening. You kind of feel like you're immersed into the world a little bit more.
I would say the format and the medium now is more related. Like I said, that's like a spiritual cousin to the Orson Welles stuff back then, but times 10 almost, if that makes any sense.
Yes. So the audio dramas now, is that they're very, very, very cinematic feeling and immersive.
Times
They're all about sound design. So you're hearing the world that the people are living in, and you're hearing different actors, not the same person reading all of the, just changing their voice to become different actors. You actually have a full cast, of people that are just actual actors, and so there was a script given to them, and then you have someone like me, like a sound designer, who takes all, after all that stuff's recorded, they take it, put it together, and then you start creating and building the audio experience, or the world building around it through audio.
And I have to say, the cast that has been assembled, you all both know me. I have no qualms about being as honest as I possibly can. The cast,
And that's what we love about you.
There you go.
Yes.
The cast that's been assembled for this is a who's who of voice talent. I mean, it is amazing. We got people all the way from London, England, to local. I mean, it is truly a global cast.
See, that's cool too, because with something like this, you are able to do that. You're able to bring in people from around the world.
Yeah.
That if
Yeah.
it was a visual project, that wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said earlier, it's just like at that moment, I'm so glad that Tim brought up the notion of doing an audio drama, because there's a lot more logistics to live action filmmaking than there would be with this. So yeah, you're able to bring in you can do anything you want. I let my imagination probably go too wild. You can do scenes and things. I mean, and Tim can speak to this. Some of the scenes we have in this, it's like you're seeing a movie in your head. It's really, really, really good.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to check it out. When did you get this idea? I mean, what inspired this?
Okay, well, as Tim says, I have a few stories stacked, and had been working on a story set in the Old West, about and I still may do a variation of this. I don't know. And it was about a marshal that was trying to hunt down someone to bring him in to justice. No, it was a bounty hunter trying to bring someone for justice. Well, the bounty hunter, the fugitive ends up saving the bounty hunter's life. So I liked the pathos of that. So I took that, and that was a small germ, and I expanded it into so much more. I can't really quantify where the ideas come from, the inspiration. I thought, well, what if we do this? And like the Old West, it's mythical now, anyways, that it takes on, and like the last vestiges of the Old West, compare and contrast to the early 20th century when they were cars, but yet they were also horses and buggies. People hadn't, it was like a confusion. They didn't know what era was going to be. It was like right before industrialization really became what we know. But I just kind of took it and just added different things. I love horses, so I thought, what if there's a horse? Let's see, what if he has he can still walk and do things, but what if he had a slight deformity and it puts crosses in the ground? And what if I could do this? And what if there's revenge? And what's the notion? I don't want to give too much away. The notion of how long does it take a man to become human? And the Wild West, good and bad, evil, and the gray area of life. What happens if it's, and you'll see it when you listen to it, if you had someone that came from somewhere else, and that was there, they had to learn the tropes of the Wild West, try to figure out good versus evil, making decisions for other people when you shouldn't be making them you should be making them for yourself. So that's kind of it. Just kind of ballooned. Holly is the best answer I can give you. I had several ideas, and I compiled it, and I started kind of thinking, well, I remember, what if we had a protagonist that rode and had, like, I love the Elephant Man, and I remember his knapsack over his head, and I remember how eerie that is. What if we had a fugitive in the Wild West that essentially was kept in a jail pit? Back then they kept them in, and I had to do extensive research, as Tim can attest. They kept some of their most lethal fugitives in like jail pits, like into a pit dug into the ground, like isolated. What if we had that, and no one, all you could see is the piercing yellow coming from his eyes? And what if his notion about humanity was true, but yet, like any good story, what if our protagonist, and this guy's an antagonist, what if it just kind of balanced those two thought processes out? So that's basically.
Yep.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. Where did this, the idea come up? Because, like I said, I've heard of like the radio shows, but this is totally different. This isn't like listening to the old radio shows.
Yeah. This
It's
is
a totally different concept.
Yeah, and I'm hoping, I can't announce anything yet. There will be other media in this world, so stay tuned on that. But we're focused right now on this. So
yeah. So Steven, I posted the link to the trailer if you guys would like to play it. It's only 2.5 minutes, and I kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what we're talking about.
Steven, is there a way for you to do that?
Oh, I could try to upload it. Yeah, I can try to do a quick download and upload it as a thing. So where can I get a quick MP, like a download of it real quick?
It's in the chat.
In the chat, if you copy that and just paste it in, it'll take you to the YouTube. Yeah.
And it's got a download option. Have you authorized that?
Does it? I'm not sure. Hang on 1 second.
I can upload an audio clip. Yes, but I'll have to do that.
Okay. So so if I just sent you the audio, then you can just do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Hang on 1 second. I will.
Nice.
And while we're talking about different projects, I know we've talked about the Repairman, Infinity, but it's got 66,000 views for the trailer on Indie Right's page, and it's the second most popular title on their YouTube page. So that was within 3 months. It's already garnered 66,000 views. So we're happy about that too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fantastic.
yeah.
So how do you go about funding this? Like, did you do crowdfunding, or how did you go about that?
You have to ask Tim that. He basically.
This is actually 100% self-funded. So,
Wow.
yeah, part of the reason that these things take so long is it's a project that I kind of have to work on when I don't have other work, and so whenever the biggest, obviously the budget entirely goes to paying the cast. I'm not paying myself or anything like that, but it's just a huge passion project that we've wanted to get off the ground for a long time, and we're finally kind of doing that. And so yeah, I mean that's kind of where we're going. Steven, I'm getting this for you. You're just going to give me just 1 second. I'll get it to you.
Let me know real quick where you're going to be sending it, just so I can watch.
I mean, I can just post the MP3 just in the chat, and if that'll work, I don't know. Or I can upload it to Dropbox or whatever you want me to do.
If you can email it to me real quick, that would be great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just send that by email, and I'll download it and get it up there.
Yep.
But yeah, give us I would like to, Devin, if you would, while we're working on that, tell us a little bit about the cast. You said it, you had a global cast. I'd like to know about, did you do auditions? What are some notes about some of the people involved?
That's all that really. I wrote the story, and Tim has really, took care of that aspect. I can say the antagonist of the piece is a person named Raglan Hardy, and he wears the knapsack over his face, and there's a gentleman from Scotland, Tim,
London, England.
London,
yeah,
who you to see him perform this, and we will be posting clips of the recording of them talking and recording their characters and so forth. This gentleman, you talk about a method actor in this form. He would just, and Tim can speak to this because he directed it and everything. But
yeah, so it was really, whenever we went to auditions, there was never a kind of a global audition that was sent out. It was really a lot of the people that you'll hear in the series are local, but there's people from Miami, Ohio, Tennessee,
Atlanta,
California, Atlanta, California. So they're kind of all over the place. But when it came to Raglan, Raglan is a very unique character in that I kind of had an idea of what everyone else's voices would sound like, but Raglan was a character that we didn't really know. I was like, I'm not going to know until I hear it. And so we had some parts of the script, just like typical audition stuff, like read this scene, give me a few different takes, all that kind of stuff. Sent it out, got 10 different people or so sending in stuff that was all really good. I mean, it was all good. Yeah. And I would send them to Devin. I was like, what do you think about this guy? What do you think about this guy? I was like, yeah, no, that's good. It's just like, but I just don't feel like it's there yet. And then there was this guy named David Ault. It's Ault, and he's based out of London, England, who is actually a very well-known voice actor in Europe. And it's been in a lot of different audio dramas and things like that. And someone off Discord, actually, I follow a lot of audio drama things on Discord and kind of talk to a lot of people that are in that kind of market. And they said, hey, you should really send this audition to David. And I was like, okay, cool. So I got his information, sent it to him, and with zero direction, like none. I said, I was like, hey, David, my name's Tim Miller, introduce myself. We're writing this Western. I would love, a lot of people actually recommended that you do this character. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. next day he sends me an audition that, and I'm not kidding you, was literally like 95% perfect.
He sent it to
Wow.
me, and I had to pull off on the side of the road, and I'm like, Tim, this is exactly what I had. This is exactly what I had in my head when I wrote the character, and that rarely happens. Rarely.
That's wild.
It's so crazy because it was one of those things where you just hear it, and when you hear it, you're like, that's it. That like there nobody else. Done. Hired. I immediately, after I sent it to Devin and we were just jaw dropped, I was like, oh my God, and so I just immediately hired him on the spot, and I was like, and I told him, I said, David, I was like, this audition is with zero direction is literally 95% there. I was like,
That's wild.
and
even the practice runs that they did, I would tell Tim, my God, this is close to perfect. I mean,
yeah.
And it was amazing. And that guy, he puts chills. I mean, and to watch him perform it too, it's like, if you watch the back, footage with the behind the scenes with The Shining, when you see Jack Nicholson like going all crazy, and he's all of a sudden, then he gets done, he's just back to normal. That's what this guy's like. He has that type of presence about him. And
wow.
Yeah. So Stephen, you should have that now. I don't know if
I sure do.
Okay, cool.
It is uploaded and it is ready. I just did not want to interrupt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's
So
try
you will. So I know we've touted David's audition for Raglan, and you will hear his voice right at the very beginning. He's not the first voice. The very first voice you will hear is our main character, which is Novak McAllister, and that is played by the wonderful Magnus Carlson, based out of Ohio. Also amazing voice actor as well, and he is But Raglan is featured quite a bit in the trailer, so I think he'll be very noticeable once you hear it. So,
all right. Well, we're getting ready. We'll roll it right now, guys. Here we go.
Why did you let me live? It ain't your time, Marshal. The end is coming.
The other night, what was happening in the sky when everything went dark, everything's been all abroad and usual. All these bad eggs acting crazy.
The way a man actually becomes human can take a lifetime.
Hey, mister, I need some help.
Thought I told you to leave me be, odd stick.
I'm looking for a man named Novak McAllister. He used to be the marshal of this town back in the unsettled times.
Look, we're all just trying to get on with our lives. Times have changed, except for the rain. Rosalie!
Novak.
What? I got you. Hold on. Stay with me. These people don't deserve to live.
Marshal! We heard about that jail escape last night. A couple of bad eggs got loose.
Which prisoners escaped?
Most ruthless that got out was Raglan Hardy and the O'Neill brothers. Why you grabbing my arm?
'Cause I brought them in under my watch. They escaped under yours. And I'm also thinking they could have been the ones that killed my family. Come on, let's go. Bigfoot, grab the stones. Seems like everyone I cross paths with ends up with the snakes.
You're on the wrong path. You're flying in the darkest pit. The Rapture is coming. The Rapture is coming and you have no idea.
A man who lets his family die? I could have saved him, you son of a bitch, do you hear me?
We both know you've changed. I said your life was worth saving because you can stop or allow the Rapture. Bring true justice to this land.
The Rapture at Silver Coin is an epic 6-part Western audio drama. Coming soon.
Man ain't worth saving. Yet here you are. Ponder. We don't have much time.
That was cool.
That is
Awesome.
so cool. Oh my
Nice
God.
job,
It's
guys.
even better than what I knew it was going to be good, but I mean, this blew me out of the water because it's literally like if you were in a theater and just had your eyes shut, right?
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Oh
Yep.
yeah.
That's it. Exactly. And then I thought that, I got to thinking people that are, visually impaired,
Mm-hmm.
this is perfect. This is a perfect medium for them because
Absolutely.
it's different. It's more. It brings so much more than just an audiobook, like you were saying, and so much more than the regular just radio dramas.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally a movie that
Yeah.
just has no, running motion picture.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Whole soundscape, love it, and I
Yes.
gotta ask you because the mood of the soundtrack has already got me. Who did the soundtrack? Because I love the music underneath too.
Well, that one is actually one that is just kind of public domain stuff that I found online for the trailer. But actually, me and my friend Joe will be doing the soundtrack for the stuff. So that
Very
is,
cool.
yeah. But that is, like you said, it is about tone, especially when you don't have visuals, because visuals can set a tone. In the old West, there are
Absolutely.
a lot
Right.
of tropes.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of tropes of vast landscapes, open range, mountains, so that sets a tone visually. Well, when you don't have visuals, you have to set the tone, orally.
and
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 so,
and, and we hope to kind of not the term educate, but a lot of people, they're not familiar with this. So I want to, and Tim does as well, and hopefully we can really get it out there that I mean, because I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, this sounds good. Is this a trailer for your next film, or is this?" They really haven't, That's like, this is awesome, but just so people really are not overly familiar with this type of stuff
Mhm.
yet. Yet.
Right, right. I wasn't either. I wasn't either when you was first telling me about it. I'm trying to wrap my head around,
Eh,
that's why I wanted to talk to you about the differences and everything
mhm.
because I'm trying to wrap my head around this being, so much different than just a regular radio drama, and it is. I mean,
Yeah,
it's truly
and
just a movie with
mhm.
no visual.
Yeah,
yep.
and it's like, when I was writing it and the script that I entered in
Uh-huh.
Imaginarium, it's in screenplay format, but you're obviously you're geared toward the audio side of the equation, but
Right,
you could read it as a story and get just as much. I mean, because I try to be as descriptive as possible, and it was very fun to write. It was very challenging because try to get the language and the syntax and everything of that era and not homogenize it. Don't have it like just a parody of itself, which a lot of westerns do. We
Hmm.
wanted the tone to be gritty. We wanted it to be, fully realized. We want it to be set essentially in that world.
right, right. And like you were saying, it's so hard to get that tone, but man, they've done it without the visuals. I mean, that brings a whole other challenge, you
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
because you don't have the facial expressions, you don't have the body language, and yeah, it's phenomenal. They did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, and this, one of the things that that Devin and I are going to do during our panel at Imaginarium this year is to talk about all these things. Is like, Devin had to kind of approach, writing the thing completely differently. Because, one of the things we hear all the time is show, don't tell. You know,
Right,
like in film, you're like, well, show it, don't tell it. You don't have to, but you can't do that here.
right, yeah,
So you have to hear what the world sounds like. So my job you know, as a director and sound design, one as a director is I have to know that all of the emotion in the characters has to be through the voice, and so whenever I do different takes, one is you just hire professionals. You know what I mean? Like that just helps solve a lot of problems. Like everyone in this cast, are actors, professional at working actors, professional voice actors, audiobook narrators, and these are people that do this stuff day in and day out. And so but you know, so my job is once I get the performance that I want from the actors, is I have to start compiling those things together, and you always start with the dialogue. That's what everything is around. And then I have to, you know, with Devin's descriptions that he had written, you know, this is, you know, 18, you know, I forget what it is, 1886, you know, Arizona. And so I have to do a little bit of research on my own, of what did that sound like? What do these towns sound like? And one of my biggest inspirations, and many of you may know what this is, the video game Red Dead Redemption 2. And
Yes.
yeah, so which is a hugely popular video game. And so one of the things I would do is I've played it a bunch of times, but there's tons of videos of just ambience from that game. And so
Right.
I would just listen to hours and hours and hours of like, what do these little, like, small little towns, you know, in the middle of the West sound like? You know, how did the people talk? You know, and that was all obviously left to Devin to get the dialect right and all this kind of stuff. But
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and just wrap up saying, like, so my job is I have to put the listener inside of the scene. You know, immerse them in the scene, because I want, and that's part of the thing is that I want people, when they listen to this, to feel like they're on the horse when Novak's riding it, or
Right.
they're standing in the middle of the town when there's a shootout happening. You know, so they're one of the people that are witnessing what is actually happening. That is my job as a sound designer, and so. Again, you know, we have limited time here, but in that panel discussion that we're going to have at Imaginarium this year, these will be the things that we're going to talk about. You know, Devin's going to talk about how, you know, what inspired him with the story, and
real
also
quickly before
how it's different from just everything else he's written.
And before time runs out, to piggyback of what he talks about on authenticity and authentic, Tim actually befriended a full-blooded Apache Indian.
Yeah.
That is an actor.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he has friends that are. It's beautiful, and he has friends that are also full-blooded Apaches. And so we really went to the ends to try to make this as authentic as possible and make sure it's, you know, and I've revised a few things based on his notes.
Yeah.
And it's when I tell you I don't know, it's as such that I don't even know I don't know when I'm ever going to do another audio drama, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to top this, but we're very proud of it. I mean, I
Absolutely.
hope that comes off, but we're very proud of it because we've really put a lot of work into it, and I hope people.
Well, the research is so fun, and the fact that you actually got a native, an actual full-blooded native, that is amazing. That's really cool, because they're hard to come by these days, right? You know?
Yeah,
they're a national treasure, and it's amazing. I just think that's so cool, and it's neat that you guys, you know, wanted that authenticity to that point, you know, where you're reaching out
Yes.
to those actors. I think that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a true labor of love, and I just I hope it finds its audience and the people that need to hear it. And I hope, because it's one of those stories that when I got finished with it, I thought, okay, I'm very pleased with this. So
yeah, and it's actually quite exciting to see this year at Imaginarium, with all of the announcements and stuff, that there are a lot of Western writers that are going to be there this year.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Johnny Boggs.
You timed it perfectly, because our guest of honor, Johnny Boggs, just won his 10th Record Spur Award, and he's considered by many, for lack of a better comparison, the Stephen King of Westerns. I mean, he is the, you know, force in Westerns, and happens to be coming this year. So we need to get him to this. We need to.
Yes.
Oh, he would love this.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, absolutely. That was one of the things I was going to mention.
So that is, I told Devin, I was like, man, there are just Western writers like, all over the place this year. So it's kind of crazy that all of the cards lined up, and that it's, this is a project that we've been working on for 5 years now, probably.
Essentially, yes.
And so the release, we are so thankful that you guys are allowing us to premiere the first two. We're calling them chapters, so they're going to be 6 chapters. And we're going to, on the first day, we're going to have the panel discussion about how we created it. And then on the second day, on Saturday, we're going to be premiering the first 2 chapters. And these are, just like movies. I mean, each of these chapters are running about 25 to 30 minutes a piece, so we are very excited about that opportunity, and also to be amongst all of these, great, wonderful writers and creators,
Absolutely.
especially the Western stuff, because that we're huge Western fans.
Absolutely.
And again, it was all, and I'll kind of end with this, like it was all. I told Devin from the very beginning, I was like, I want to do this right. I want to take the time that it deserves, and I want to do this. I want to make it gritty. I want to make it epic, and I want to make it authentic. I don't want to cheat. I don't want to, to pull anything out from it that we feel is like, well, that, people might say something about that. It's like, no, we're gonna tell our story the way that we want to tell
absolutely.
it.
I told him, I said, this is going to be, this is how I write, and this is what it's the characters, and this is what we're going to do.
And as we all know, living in the Old West was horrible sometimes.
Yes, it was.
It was.
It's been romanticized in Hollywood.
But it was a brutal time to live in, and that's one of the things that we wanted to do, was to capture that tone and that gritty kind of atmosphere. Is like, they're people are, quote, spoiler, right? People are going to die. There's shootouts,
right.
The horses. There's all of the things that you love about Westerns that are in this, but it's really, at its core, it's a character piece, which is what Devin, which is what Devin is really, really good at as a writer. And so,
it's a character analysis.
That's what we want people to really latch onto, is that, yes, it is a Western, and all of the things that we love about Westerns are in it, but it's really a story about a person, and emotions and tone.
Absolutely. And I want to say this real quickly, because I know we're maybe pressed for time.
No, you're good. You're fine.
Okay.
You're good.
I want to thank both of you all. I've known you all for a long time. I was there at the very first one, post fire alarm, right? and just what you've created for people such as myself and Tim is just a testament to what kind of people you are. And I truly, truly, sincerely mean that, because, you have such a diverse, it's like going to a Dolly Parton or Willie Nelson concert. There's such a diverse people. There's such an eclectic, like I could be talking to a guy with white face paint on, props to Jason. And then I love Jason. And then I could be talking to a guy who's an Army Ranger. I mean, in that type of diverse, I mean, I'm really sincere. It's amazing. And only you all could probably pull that off, man. That's so awesome. So thank you for creating this, because it gives, because creativity's tough. And you don't always have support.
Well, and people don't understand our way of thinking. We'll talk to some of our family or and they're looking at us like we got 3 heads. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so it's like, we're at Imaginarium. Hell, everybody, we're all outside the box. We're all creatives, and we're all like-minded. So we get in the most just neat conversations.
Yes,
I mean.
I've had some of the best conversations.
And plans, networking, and you plan on, we need to do this together and collaborate, and it's amazing.
The world is so fragmented. Just to see people come together at your event and treat each other with so much respect, and it's such a testament to what you all have created. I hope that you all realize that. I really do. And I know you all don't polish your own trumpets, but allow me,
No.
because it's exceptional. And
Well,
thank you all.
thank you.
Well, it's definitely by design as far as we try to make sure that we fiercely protect the keeping drama out and all that stuff. We want to make it very very comfortable environment. And for us, I mean, it is. I think I speak for Holly on this, but it's a lot of fun to watch the progression. Because
Yes.
like Amy McCorkle had one of her first screenings at one of the first Imaginarium, and then now
Yeah.
today, she's getting distribution deals and going all over the place, and winning awards and things like that. And then, like in your case, watching you, come in that year and sweep, all kinds of awards, the repairman,
Yeah.
and then watching you just take off after that, and have winning major screenplay awards and doing this great, promising audio drama project. And it's fun for us to watch the progression of all the creatives over the years.
And it makes it worthwhile. Our blood, sweat, and tears. It makes it worth it for to see you guys lift it up and to get so much out of it. And we love to hear the feedback, and it does. When I'm crying in the corner and pulling my hair out, and then I hear this, it makes my heart feel
well,
good.
And I sincerely mean it from the bottom of my heart. It doesn't go unnoticed, and
yes,
absolutely, it's very very to have this type of event, to bring the amount. I mean, people that I normally probably wouldn't talk to. I mean, just by design of everyday life, to be able to have that is just so. It's something special, and I really wanted to make it a point to say this publicly to both of you. Thank you, and I really mean that. So.
Well, thank you, Devin and Tim. Thank
one
you.
weekend for one weekend, it's like Brigadoon. All the introverts become extroverts, and it's
right.
I even listened to Steven's metal music for a little bit. Right
there you go. Well, you'll have to come. You'll have to come see Jay. Jason is playing with a full band this year, and he said he's gonna rock us the F out. That's what he said, and that's gonna be on Friday night. So
I saw
you gotta come see.
Yeah, I give Tim a hard time about some of his metal choices, but it's all in love. And I saw Cannibal
Well, Tim will love this then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, and you guys probably recognize someone's voice in there, but Mr. Herschel Zahn is actually he was featured in there, and he is actually one of the more important characters in the story.
Well,
so,
I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
that's awesome.
Yeah. And just to mention again, tonight we're celebrating that he made the finals with the screenplay, Noir. Yeah.
And I'm very honored with both.
And congratulations to you, Devin, because not only you had short format with Mirror Eyes, and then of course the Rapture at Silver Coin, which we've been discussing tonight, also is a finalist. That's so. Yes, congrats.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that that you guys know that they're in this project, and well, I think hopefully, but and I just do want to piggyback. One of my favorite things is the awards show, the awards banquet, because there's this really unique kind of, like Holly was saying earlier, there's this really unique thing when all of the people are in the same room at the same time.
That amalgamy, absolutely.
And we're all sitting there, and even if we don't win best screenplay or we don't win whatever, you are there, and you're that the person that won, I mean, I was there when Amy won, I think, her first award, and and it's just amazing because you can feel the love, because we're all like I said at the top of the show, is like, the thing about creative people is that there's nothing going to keep us from doing what we want to do, and COVID's not going to do that. And,
right on.
nothing is going to do that. And Imaginarium is a place that you guys have done, that have brought all of those people together, and sitting in that room with all of those people is always such a wonderful experience, because you can look around and that all of these people stayed up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning trying to finish that last page of their novel, or trying to sound design, the trailer for their Western audio drama. It's like, so So
We're
we're
sending the wrong draft of a screenplay.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I just want to piggyback off what Devin said. I really, really do love what you guys have done.
Absolutely.
Imaginarium is fun to go to, and a lot of my friends like Herschel and and Devin and Silvio and all these guys, like they're a lot of them are going to be there again. It's like a big family reunion every year,
It is.
and
Yeah.
And we grow. That family grows every year.
It does. Yeah.
And there's really no ego or hubris. Creative people have their own personalities, but it really, for the most part, everybody's just there to help each other, and I love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's key.
Not
That's
competitors, collaborators.
Absolutely.
That's what we always
Amen.
yes.
Amen.
And that's how we succeed, is to help each other rise up.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Let's.
ahead,
I do want to give you guys a chance to connect. Have fans tonight that are listening to you connect. So, what platforms for the audio drama, and then for yourselves? Let's go ahead and give you a chance to tell folks where to connect.
We are working on getting a website together. We don't have that up and running right now. There aren't currently any socials for this at the moment.
Okay.
But my website is apparatussound.com, and I would love to hear from and I've just been so busy I haven't updated. I completely apologize, but there will be social accounts coming very soon, and once those happen, we can definitely post those at live for sure.
And for me, it's just Devin Hylton on Facebook, filmmaker boy 2 M's on Instagram. I finally got an Instagram.
Yeah.
And the front porch at Cracker Barrel. If you see me, you usually see me there. Please come say hi. So,
I love to play checkers at the front porch at Cracker Barrel.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
they took away my Reuben, though. I'm not very happy.
They've done a lot of restructuring I'm not happy with.
Yes, my socials are just Apparatus Sound, and in those as well. But again, we will be starting kind of our own social channel for Rapture to kind of funnel all of the information. There will be a lot of things coming out over the next few months leading up to the premiere, and also with the actual show. So, we do have this exclusive premiere for everyone listening. The first 2 chapters will only be heard until the official release at Imaginarium. So we would love for anyone listening to come and hear it, and to kind of hear what we've been talking about tonight. And again, Holly and Steven, thank you guys so much for this opportunity.
Absolutely. I piggyback on what on what Tim said. Thank you all, and I will see my yearly family here in just a couple weeks, Lord willing.
Yeah, it ain't going to be long. It comes quicker, it seems, every year.
It does.
For us.
For us, it does. Yeah, definitely.
But yes,
All right.
thank you guys. Thank you guys for being such supporters, and for all the kind words. It means a lot. It does.
Absolutely.
It means a lot to us.
Absolutely.
And yes, I can't wait. I'm actually going to look tomorrow and at Johnny Boggs's schedule and try to make sure that he is not tied up during your filming time. I'll have to
Or the exhibition,
look at all
the exhibition time. Yeah.
And I can't
Yes.
wait to do some of the panels, like, that's going on. I was talking to
Yes.
someone about that. There's so many great panels. I want to actually, because when you're doing so many panels and so forth, you kind of lose track of trying to enjoy it sometimes. So, I really want to do that. There's so many great panels this year.
There are. Yeah, it's loaded.
Well, thank you.
Is there anything else that we did not cover in tonight's discussion that you were eager to get out there? Want to make sure we give you a chance while you're on the air.
Well, I just keep your eyes out for like I may have a little novel or something in the next year.
Nice.
So.
Maybe.
Yeah.
and he might actually cut his hair. Just to spoil
no,
it.
that'll never happen.
No, don't you dare! Don't you dare cut that beautiful hair.
See, I give him crap about Lifetime movies, and he gives me crap about my hair. So
no, I will have a heart attack. Your hair is glorious.
No, that will never happen, Holly. I assure you.
Your hair is fantastic.
God gave me a heart attack.
Well, you guys take care tonight. I'll turn over to Holly to close it out with you. But thank you so much for coming aboard.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys, and we will see you in just a few weeks.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Good night. All right, listener world, next Wednesday, join us again. Another great guest, another great talk, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Podbean. And for the rest of the week, be creative. Good night, all.